With a caravan of Humvees, the U.S. military handed out food today in Port-au-Prince. It led to a few tense moments as Haitians rushed the trucks. The U.S. has outstripped every country in the world in delivering aid. But as Neil MacDonald reports, over Haiti's long history, America hasn't always played the hero.
You will not be forsaken.
Those were comforting words coming when they did, but the term the president chose neatly describes the people of Haiti, too. In this hemisphere, they are the forsaken. From the day their ancestors rose up against French slave masters more than 200 years ago, Haitians have been singled out for suffering and misery on an inhuman scale, and they can't be blamed for suspecting bigotry. Just listen to this lunacy uttered by an influential American conservative last week.
They got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, "We will serve you if you'll get us free from the French." It's a true story. And so the devil said, "Okay, it's a deal."
The more mainstream view is that Toussaint Louverture and his band of enslaved patriots staged their successful rebellion all by themselves. And, much to the displeasure of the great powers of the day, they established the first black republic. They would pay for that.
Haiti was isolated and punished by not just the European powers, but by the United States as well, which was a slave-owning country at that time. And the Haitians were actually asked to pay a 90 million franc indemnity to France in exchange for its independence. And if you cost that out over time, that would cost about $20 billion in today's dollars.
In the decades that followed, European and U.S. policy towards Haiti could only be described as paternalistic. In 1915, to protect American financial interests, the U.S. military invaded and occupied the country. That lasted almost 20 years and took thousands of Haitian lives. Haiti's modern era, which began in 1957 with the rise of François Papadoc Duvalier, brought even more misery. Duvalier was a murderer and a villain, and Washington's man.
François Duvalier was seen as someone who was an opponent of communism, who really came much more from the right-wing side of the spectrum. And so for the next almost 30 years, the United States gave substantial support to the Duvalier regime.
Duvalier and his inheritors also built up what is known as odious debt, borrowing money to enrich themselves and their cronies, but which the Haitian people have been responsible for repaying to this day, even as a democracy.
As a result, you have a country where just keeping up on its debt payments alone have consumed a massive amount of the Haitian governmental budget.
True, there has been some debt relief and some aid from organizations like the World Bank, but it too has come with a ruinous price. Haiti was forced to open its domestic markets to competition and to stop protecting its rice farmers, to pick just one example. Those farmers were forced to compete with rice producers from much richer nations, nations like the United States, which, incidentally, does protect and subsidize its farmers. Pretty unequal contest.
Yeah. For the Haitian rice farmers, it was an extraordinarily unequal contest.
The result was predictable.
That has really created a situation where Haiti is now a country that basically can't feed itself.
Haiti is also a country that's exceedingly difficult to leave if you're a Haitian. Even Haitians with credible claims of persecution are most unwelcome in the United States.
They're more subject to detention, they're more subject to deportation.
If a Cuban migrant makes it ashore in Florida, America offers immediate asylum. When a boatload of Haitians makes it, as these starving, thirsty people did a few years ago, they're rounded up and sent back home. It's been that way for decades. Haitians fleeing political violence in the early 90s were intercepted at sea. Some were penned up at Guantanamo Bay until they could be returned. Even after hurricanes destroyed much of Haiti in 2008, deportations from the U.S. to Haiti continued. Why?
The United States has a deep-seated fear of dealing with a massive refugee crisis emanating from Haiti. So as a result, the United States has a tendency over time to play hardball with Haiti when it comes to migration. And this has contributed to a perception of inequality and of racism in U.S. immigration.
Still, it must be said that the U.S. has at times also been Haiti's salvation, and this is one of those times. No other nation could have moved aid in as quickly and as massively, and no other people are giving as much out of their own pockets as the Americans. In fact, the U.S. just announced it is going to stop deporting Haitians to Haiti, at least for the next 18 months, and America is committed to help rebuild. Some people say this catastrophe may prove to be a turning point. If it does, it'll be the first time. Neil McDonald, CBC News.